Hey everyone, welcome to another Clean Machine Live. My name is Geoff Palmer. I'm the CEO and founder of Clean Machine. Before we get started, let's go ahead and put up the disclaimer. This video is for informational, educational purposes only and is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. We're going to be talking about the power of polyphenols. What are polyphenols? Polyphenols are phytonutrients. These are plant chemicals that plants use to defend themselves against attack from pathogens or from predators. So polyphenols are seen mostly and originally as antioxidants, but they have so much more value to them than their antioxidant properties. Antioxidants are cool. They help with muscle recovery. They help you with antioxidant levels, so cellular damage. So there's a lot of good things about antioxidants, but their antioxidant potential is just a tip of the iceberg to all the power that polyphenols bring. Let me show you a diagram that kind of puts that into perspective. These are some of the different aspects. They modify inflammation. They feed their prebiotics. So they feed our inner gut bacteria and help them strengthen our immune system. They do have antioxidant properties for oxidative stress on the cells. They're liver protective. Let me go ahead and get rid of this caption so we can see the rest of this. They're neuroprotective. They protect the kidneys, immune response, cardioprotective. They actually help regulate our body's ability to utilize carbohydrates and sugars so that they don't become obesitous or causing obesity. They also help regulate lots of different other processes in our body, like apoptosis and even pancreatic protection. So all the way across the board, they're doing some amazing things throughout the body. Now, one of the most important things is just potentially saving our lives. This is a nice study that showed that diets highest in polyphenols actually have a 30% reduction in mortality rate. So those consuming the highest amount of polyphenols, which you see here on the screen, colored fruits, especially dark greens, spices, nuts, seeds. These are all really rich in polyphenols. Black tea, chocolate, olives, herbs, and even algae and mushrooms do have some polyphenols too as well. But unfortunately, there are no polyphenols made by any animals. So you don't get polyphenols from animal foods unless they are trace amounts of polyphenols that the animal itself actually consumed. But you can get many, many times more, 10, 20, 100 times more polyphenols in polyphenol-rich foods like dark greens, your brightly colored fruits and vegetables. Those colors themselves are actually part of the polyphenolic compounds. What makes that so exciting is their far-reaching and varied effects on health. Like fisetin is one of the things in strawberries, and then you've got hydroxytyrosol in olives, and you've got OPCs and grape seeds. You've got just a variety, Mangiferin and mangoes. All of these have different effects, positive effects on the body. So eating a variety of these, like in the morning, I'll make a smoothie with blueberries, blackberries, dark cherries, mango sometimes, strawberries, blueberries, all of those in there in the fruit. So I'm getting a variety of different colors, a variety of different catechins and polyphenols and tannins and all these different amazing phytonutrients, phytochemicals, phytocompounds that are unique to plants that have amazing capacity. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the research here. So this is a brand new study. Actually, it just came out within the last month or so. And it looked at, it's a 2024 study, so just a recent study, cardiovascular health and cancer risk associated with plant-based diets. Now, this is what they call an umbrella review. So it's a far-reaching review. It's taking a look at all of the available RCTs, the meta-analysis, the other people's reviews of large groups of studies. So it's called an umbrella view because it's taking basically all of the relevant research in and trying to look at it and see what the overall risk. Now, they look at the two key things, which was cardiovascular health, or heart attacks, our #1 cause of death in humans in the United States, and cancer, which is quickly catching up to cardiovascular disease as the #1 cause of death. Why those rates of cancer are skyrocketing is probably because it's correlative with an increased intake of animal proteins. Okay, so let's take a look at what they found. And here are the results of this study. Overall, vegetarian and vegan diets are significantly associated with better lipid profile, that's fats and cholesterols, better glycemic control, that's right. These phytonutrients, these polyphenols are regulating glycemic control. So you don't have to worry about those carbs if they're in their whole food state. A lower body weight, lower BMI, lower inflammation, lower risk of ischemic heart disease, which can lead to heart attacks, and of course, cancer. So vegan and vegetarian diets across the board, almost every marker that they looked at, better health, better in lipid profile, better in sugar control, better in body weight, better in inflammation, better in heart disease and cancer. It's a pretty amazing study, but I know for some of you, this is not going to be too amazing. Like, yeah, so what? We've seen tons of studies out there saying vegan and vegetarian diets or plant-based diets are much better in promoting health across the board, from diabetes to heart attacks to stroke to cancer to most of the major things, hypertension, high blood pressure. Okay, so why is that? Well, one, when you're eating a plant-based diet, you're eating less of the bad stuff. The animal products, the animal foods that contain oxidized cholesterol, saturated fat, heme iron, excess methionine, TMAO, which is formed in the gut and in the body from never take. That's definitely something to look at because DHA has been linked to atrial fibrillation, which has a very high increased risk for heart failure, heart attacks, increased risk for stroke. Preformed DHA also increases LDL cholesterol, has a greater propensity compared to a DHA-free diet of having hypertension, high blood pressure. So across the board, gut dysbiosis too. If you remove the things that are causing the bad, that's going to be a positive. But you also want to put in the positive or replace those negatives with positives. Now, the goods are coming from fiber, which is only found in plant foods, and algae and non-animal foods, let's say. So plants, algae, and fungi. Prebiotics, these are almost entirely from plant-sourced foods. Antioxidants, almost majorly from plant-based foods. Phytonutrients, exclusively from plant-based foods. And again, polyphenols. Polyphenols are also found in algae and in mushrooms to a lesser degree. But the vast majority of polyphenols, both in count, there's over 8,000 known or identified polyphenols already. And the vast majority of them, overwhelming majority, are coming from plant foods. Okay. So what is the impact of these polyphenols on our actual health? Well, let's take a look at the most important organ in the body, the human brain. There's a 2018 study, and it looked at a pattern of polyphenol intake. So it's a broad study looking at a lot of people and seeing, okay, if your inputs of what you're eating, what of those foods are higher in polyphenols and how much cumulative polyphenol intake we're taking in a day. So this was a pattern of polyphenol intake and the long-term risk of dementia in older persons. So this is people 50 and older, and they were looking at dementia, and this is what they found. They found that this Epidemiological study found higher polyphenol consumption reduced the risk of severe cognitive decline by 50%. I mean, that's huge. You don't see those kind of numbers too often in studies. So the highest amount of people, those with the highest intakes of plant polyphenols, this is nuts and seeds and beans and grains and greens and fruits and berries, especially. Also your spices like cinnamon and clove and herb spices. These are really high. Like cinnamon's like many times higher in polyphenols than a typical, say, blueberry or something like that. So including these spices in there. That's why I drink chai tea in the morning. Chai tea's got cloves, it's got cardamom, it's got cinnamon. So all these spices are super high in polyphenols. I start my day out with at least 5 to 6 berries in a smoothie and a cup of chai tea, which is just like this insanely high polyphenol burst for my body. Remember, this is cellular protective. So I'm setting my cells up for protection all day long, but I'm also priming my gut because polyphenols tend to be prebiotic, meaning our gut microbes actually eat up some of these polyphenols and use them for food source and for protection of their cellular lives. So you give the longer life, more robust gut health. But they also do a thing. They say, well, thank you for feeding me all these wonderful plant polyphenols, all that wonderful fiber only from plants. Thank you for feeding me. I'm going to, in turn, take that fiber, spit it out, and give you short chain fatty acids, which are also wonderfully protective for our human, not only our gut, but our entire immune system and our overall health, even shown in maternal studies to improve cognition in the infants, the higher the fiber intake. Okay, but they also do the same thing to polyphenols. They chew up these polyphenols and they spit out these cool metabolites like urolithin A. So if you consume pomegranates have certain polyphenols in it that our microbiome will chew up and spit out a different metabolite of that polyphenol, and that can have amazing effects. Urolithin A can actually help you utilize sugars and fats for energy so that you're not storing as much, keeping your body weight down. You can also feed these or direct these nutrients and calories to the muscle, increasing muscle growth. So we've seen research that higher urolithin A content actually increased muscle gains too as well. All right, so let's see what else this does. This is another study looking at the polyphenols in a certain green, which is duckweed. And if you guys know me, I was the very first to bring duckweed to market in a protein powder as clean green protein. We're trying to bring that back. We're trying to bring it back real soon. Hopefully by the end of this year, we're working with a new company. All right. So this Mediterranean diet, what they did is took this standard Mediterranean diet. Here's 3 groups. Let me explain this. Okay, they got 3 groups. One is the standard American diet, but a clean one, a fairly healthy diet, not just your junk food diet. And then they took, and that was coached. They were coached by a dietitian. All right, so a dietitian telling you how to do a good diet. All right, so that's step 1. Step 2, or group 2, was the Mediterranean diet. Now, the Mediterranean diet is the #1 diet for weight loss and considered in the world, and one of the most healthy diets. It does include fish, but also includes olive oil, olives, things like that. Okay, so that was group number 2, and then group number 3 is they took the Mediterranean diet, but they added green tea, they added some walnuts, both really high in polyphenols. Walnuts high in polyphenols, green tea really high in polyphenols, and then added duckweed. And that duckweed is super high in polyphenols. Okay, so they blasted it with 3 really high polyphenol compounds: walnuts, green tea, and duckweed. And boom, what did they get? The green Mediterranean diet doubled the fat loss of the Mediterranean diet. And it more than tripled the fat loss of the dietary coached diet. So using a dietitian to coach them to eat well, they lost some body fat. They lost even more with the Mediterranean diet, and they like twice as much incorporating those polyphenol rich foods, walnuts, green tea, and duckweed. So dark greens, green tea, and just adding a handful of walnuts can really increase your, not only your polyphenols, which are cytoprotective, they're cellular protective, but they doubled the amount of fat loss. Now, on the screen, you see VAT. That stands for visceral adipose tissue. So that's the adipose tissue inside the body, not on the outside. That's subcutaneous fat. The little fat on the outside is not real pleasant to look at. Some people want to lose that weight, but that's not the important fat. That's your body storing it on the outside because it's got too much body fat on the inside. It's the body fat, or the visceral adipose fat, the internal body fat. That's the dangerous fat. That surrounds your heart, your liver, your kidneys. And this is what really gunks up the whole situation and starts the chain of responses that can lead to type 2 diabetes, can lead to hypertension, can lead to cardiovascular situations. So this is actually doubling the amount of the fat loss than the Mediterranean diet. That's the #1 diet, simply by increasing and elevating your polyphenols. All right, let's take a look at another one of my favorite polyphenols, hydroxytyrosol. This one's found in really rich concentrations in olives. And that's part of what I think is the part of the success of the Mediterranean diet, is because it is actually rich in olives or olive oil. Now, olive oil is one of the few oils that still maintains its natural polyphenols, and this protects the oil. They knew it way back in Greek times when they were doing this. They found that this oil didn't go bad very well, didn't oxidize, because it had this powerful antioxidant in it called hydroxytyrosol. But not only just preventing the oil from oxidizing, hydroxytyrosol has some pretty incredible effects. Hydroxytyrosol is one of my favorite polyphenols, and you're going to see why in just a second. Okay, here we go. Hydroxytyrosol shows a variety of pharmacological activity. Now, this is actually therapeutic activity. This is why they call it pharmacological. It's showing that it actually has real health, heavy-handed health benefits. Okay, it has its antioxidant properties. It's cool, but I'm going to read this list off because it's impressive and it gets even better. It's anti-cancer, it's anti-inflammatory, it's neuroprotective, protecting those brain cells. It's beneficial effects on the cardiovascular system. So heart health, vascular health, brain health, anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory. Very powerful stuff. All right, let's look at another one of my favorites of polyphenols. And this is, olives are green. What about orange? Orange, this particular orange colored polyphenol is in mangoes, hence their orange color. And that's where it gets its name from, Mangiferin, from mangoes. All right, so in Mangiferin, this study called it a natural miracle bioactive compound against lifestyle-related disorders. So looking at diseases and how Mangiferin affected, and this is what they found. They found that Mangiferin protects against different human cancers, including lung cancer, colon cancer, breast cancer, neuronal cancers, cancer of the brains. But it gets better. The list of Mangiferin health benefits is so long, it's ridiculous. Anti-diabetic, fat metabolism regulating, anti-tumor, cardioprotective, neuroprotective, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, analgesic, that means reducing pain, antibacterial, antiviral, immunological modulating effects. This is the power of mangoes. Now, you can eat mangoes, and it's definitely great to eat mangoes, but what is the highest source of Mangiferin? What is the best source for getting the most amount of Mangiferin to promote all of these amazing anti-disease, but also health benefits. Well, Mangiferin is a powerful polyphenol that is found in the mango fruit, but it's even higher amounts of Mangiferin are found in the mango leaf. But the highest amounts of Mangiferin are actually found in the mango tree bark. Well, a really good company who I was impressed with when I found this ingredient created that using mango tree bark and combined it with a Indian globe thistle. This is the Indian globe thistle there on the left, and it has powerful effects on helping people build muscle. And that's mango tree bark on the right there. So that mango tree bark is that high in that Mangiferin. So let's take a look at what Mangiferin does. So they put these two ingredients together and called it RIP factor. I chose to use RIP factor in N10s Clean Preworkout. Why did I do this? This is why. They did publish actually, I think it's up to 4 published human studies on this combination of potent polyphenol compounds. And this is what they found. They got a 4 times increase in muscle size. They got 20% more muscle strength. And that seems to build. When I'm working out with this, I am finishing up my sets and I'm like, God, I can do more. I can do more. After I've done, 20 sets of different exercises, I feel like I'm just hitting pace. It's like I keep pushing myself more. I keep doing drop sets. I start doing compounds and adding sets right after sets with only 10 seconds rest in it. And I feel like I can just keep going. Part of that is because they also found this, a 35% more muscle endurance. Now, this is a major boost in muscle endurance. This also makes it a great product for not only strength athletes, those who are in the gym lifting weights, but those doing cardio, because you can push yourself in cardio more for fat burning, or those doing endurance exercises like biking and running and swimming, or triathlons or biathlons. And also, this is really unique. This combination of the Indian globe thistle and the mango tree bark, real high in that polyphenol mangiferin, 21% increase in testosterone in men, but no increase in women. Now, this is really cool. So it only increases testosterone in men. Now, this makes this N10s Clean Pre-Workout really great for men and women to use. So it'll boost testosterone in men, but it won't change the hormone profile in women while still giving you all these benefits of increased muscle, of increased strength gains, and increased endurance gains. And it's fast acting. What I like about polyphenols is they're very, very quick acting in the system. The RIP factor study showed fast acting muscle gains in as early as 2 weeks, just 2 weeks of taking this, and they've already found statistically significant strength muscle gains. Okay, but I wanted to go all in on polyphenols for our clean pre-workout or pre-workout formula. So I included S7. S7 is 7 of the richest polyphenol plant sources. So they took the 7 of the top plants that are super rich superfoods in polyphenols. Green coffee bean extract, green tea extract, turmeric, whichever way you pronounce it, is really high in polyphenols, especially for neuroprotection in the brain. Tart cherry, great studies on tart cherry helping with muscle recovery. Blueberry, broccoli, and kale. So you got 7 really rich polyphenol compounds in there. What they found using that combination is that it boosted nitric oxide. This elevates or opens up our blood vessels so we get more blood flow to the muscles, allowing more nutrients, more glucose to get to the muscle, more oxygen to the muscle, hence the greater endurance that we're seeing, but also helps more waste product get away from the muscle so you have less recovery time too. Long-lasting nitric oxide boost and pump for up to 3 hours. That's amazing. So this is the power of polyphenols. want to show you one last thing, which is the product I put together with these polyphenols. It's N10s Clean Pre-Workout. It's got 10 different ingredients, all rich in polyphenols. So you got those 7 powerful polyphenols for giving you a pump boost, the 2 extra polyphenols in globe thistle and mangiferin from the mango tree bark. All of these polyphenol riches are giving you all this kind of protection at every level of your body. So this is a pre-workout formula that is helping you with obesity, with cardio health, with brain health, with neuroprotection, all of these benefits, getting it. This is what you should be getting out of your pre-workout. And that's why I built a formula that is not only going to be clinically proven to deliver muscle gains, fat loss, and be healthy for the body by protecting the brain, improving heart function, improving and making sure that your body is in its best overall health, not just stimulants or other things that are poking the body trying to get a better response out of it. This is muscle, brain, heart, liver, body fat, whole body health. That's what I try to look for. I build products to deliver health as much as I do clinically proven in humans real results to get you the best results. So that's why I put together N10s with 10 intense, intensely rich polyphenol compounds and to get you the best for your workouts. Because remember, when you go into a workout, you're stressing your body. When you stress your body, you create lactic acid, you create cortisol, you create reactive oxygen species, these ROS that can attack and degrade that. That's why you need to get these phytochemicals into your system prior to your workout. So I usually drink about half of my N10s before I get to my workout, and the other half I sip on during my workout. So I'm getting that good protection of my cells, faster recovery, more strength, more muscle gains, better testosterone for men without changing testosterone levels for women. Just a wonderful, wonderful combination of plants to help you achieve the best goal for fitness and health, not one or the other. Thanks for watching me. I'll keep bringing you the science and all the studies to get you the healthiest, fittest, best shape of your long-lasting